So, anyway, how does Caroline fit into the final five? For the purposes of this, one could probably assume that she and Ellen are sisters, because they're both blondes with behavioral issues and a drinking problem who married best friends. So probably sisters. We should be glad that Bill grew out of that phase. But back to Tamara and Zoe. So what are they doing at this time? Probably doing a good job at not staying boxed. Because remember, these girls knew how to manipulate V-World. Which probably was in the minor leagues compared to the stream, but considering that through the final five and the creation of the Cylons, they probably have learned to work the stream. So Tamara's probably trying to find a way to wake up the five, so she goes back to Earth 1.0 and hacks what she can, and being that it's a dead civilization, let's say that she comes back with the song, as in All Along the Watchtower, and she obviously can't get it to them because she's trapped until the worlds fall, and the network goes down, and the Cylons come back, and they're kind of in contact again. This doesn't make sense. It's okay. Nothing makes sense. And so, like, there's the Cylon virus that Saul lets in while Bill's dying. One can posit that she gets in then. Or maybe she's just more omnipotent than people would assume. Her and Zoe just kind of chilling, going through data streams, making it work. Either way. But more about that later. Back to why is Zach alive? So, this theory of mine got expanded because of all the sloppy writing and character assassination that went on in season 4. So we've got some things to work through here, like, why the frack is this song so significant? Why didn't Laura believe Kara when she would have? What exactly is the truth about the Opera House? Because you never told us. Why are we calling Laura a leader if she's essentially checked herself out? What about all the prophecies? Are we ignoring those now? Why are we using God as an explanation? We're not getting a more detailed reason as to why things happened besides, oh, God wanted it to, even though we've learned that this God is fallible. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not poignant. It's not proven to us. It just doesn't resonate. There's no emotional connection between this God and his manipulations and our characters that we've fallen in love with. So there's no reason for us to look at this canon and accept it as something that makes a whole lot of sense or is supposed to have a big impact on us. And it honestly leaves a lot of viewers with a bad taste in their mouth by the time they get to the finale, and it shouldn't. There are ways to consolidate the storylines and make them have an emotional impact and make it make sense. So, how does Zach being alive solve this? He doesn't. Not alone. So, I've thought about this for a while now, but I've come to the conclusion that Zach was probably the linchpin of the Adama men. Zach is pretty childlike, he's trusting, he's loving, he's kind of like a Labrador puppy. Unlike Lee, he didn't go into flight school to prove anything to Bill. It wasn't out of spite. Zach and Bill probably had a pretty good relationship, and Zach probably genuinely wanted to follow in his father's footsteps. I like to run on the assumption that he tempered Bill and Lee's relationship and kept them from going at each other's throats. So, like in season 4, where more kind of half-assed this family unit relationship between Bill, Laura, Kara, and Lee, if you insert Zach and change a couple of things, you could actually get this really strong family unit that we didn't get. So Zach. Well, Kara. So Kara flies her Viper into a star like she does in Maelstrom, and she gets pulled through, let's say, a wormhole and dies on Earth, explaining her body, the Viper, and the idea that she knows the way to Earth. Or we could go through another explanation where obviously I've set up Tara. Shut up, Harper. So after that, after Viper crashes on Earth, she resurrects into another cyborg body. We're just going to have to assume that that can happen. We know the Cylons have her DNA. I mean, how do skin jobs happen? That's never explained to us either. Let's run with Cybrid Resurrection. I say Cybrid, by the way, not hybrid, because Cylon plus hybrid equals Cybrid. It's so much better. So she gets spit out again by the Cylon rebels, sent back to the fleet, who know that she'll return. Why? Possibly because they programmed it. Maybe there's some innate thing with cybrids to attract them to other cybrids, which is why Kara and Zack got together in the first place. I don't know. Run with it. Meanwhile, after Kara's dead, Lee starts to go on a downward spiral. We can play the trial leading him into a suicidal sort of gloomy pit of horribleness. He already has a history of suicide ideation, as we saw in Season 2, when he tells Kara that he had hoped not to come back alive from a mission, and he does have this, like, horrible depressive episode for a while. So there is a way that the show could make us believe that he has a history of it. Obviously, shit's going pretty horribly, so it wouldn't exactly be a far stretch to have Baltar found innocent due to Lee's testimony, and then Lee possibly walking into a bathroom and just blowing his brains out. So this would ultimately be at the end of Season 4. Not Season 4, Season 3. Lee blows his brains out. Kara returns. There's this huge chaos. Oh my god, what the hell's going on? Cue credits. End season. So then, Season 4 would start off with this, like, crazy, like, what the hell is going on? Oh my god, Lee's dead. Oh my god, Kara's alive. Oh my god, Bill's having a mental breakdown because everyone's dead, except not really, and Laura's dying too. Oh my god. So there's that. And then the end of the first episode of Season 4 could end up with Lee waking up in a Cylon facility next to his brother. Oh my god, the Adama brothers, they're alive. And maybe Lee heard Zack's voice while he was suicidal. Who knows? Zack, who, for the purpose of this theory, has spent a lot of time being experimented on these past 5 years, and spent some time in the stream making friends with the Cylon rebels, and most importantly, coming in contact with the Tamara conscious. Meanwhile, Kara, back in the fleet, tells Laura that she knows the way to Earth, and because Laura has also asked Kara to do some crazy shit to find Earth, Laura believes her, because she would have. Sorry. Bill probably doesn't, because he's trying to process that his son just blew his brains out, and is trying to cling to the person that the universe has spat back at him in the Bill Adama versus the universe balancing act. Laura, who, yet again, sends Kara on another non-Adama approved military expedition to check out Kara's visions, so we get Space Parents tension like we did in 6 of 1. And probably a very nasty argument like we saw there too. And instead of Kara threatening to shoot Laura, we get some bonding moments. Maybe Kara breaks down and Laura hugs her. And there's some bonding and some nice mother-daughter things, and the episode will pass the Bechdel test. And everything would be lovely. Also, Kara and Laura totally became best friends on New Caprica during the missing year. I don't care who tells me otherwise. So Kara leaves on the Gideon. Meanwhile, the Cylons plus Lee and Zack are rebelling. Carol Ann